Hey guys, Kyle here with Hornbaker Acres. So today I'm on my way to a very quick removal. The client says that they have an old speaker box on the back part of their property sitting on an ATV that has drawn in a new colony of bees. They say they've been there for 4 to 5 days. The client doesn't really care about the speaker box, about keeping it or not, so what I plan on doing is to just go grab the speaker box and leave. Now, as you can probably see, it's midday. I wouldn't normally do a removal like this in the middle of the day. I would normally try and do it at night, so that way all the forager bees are back in their home. However, I work tonight, so gotta do it when I can do it, kind of thing. So what I kind of plan on doing, and you guys probably know how plans go sometimes, but at least what I plan on doing is taping up the box, the speaker box, all the entrances to it, kind of blocking all the foragers that are currently in there inside, and then that way when the foragers come back, they'll be gathering on the outside a little bit, trying to figure out their way back in, and I will also be there for 10-15 minutes with the bee vac collecting all the foragers that are coming back. Now, it's pretty likely that I'm not going to be able to collect every single last forager bee, but I'll be able to get at least the majority of them out of the area. And then I will probably spray a little bit of honeybee gone, bee repellent, on the ATV itself, just to make sure that they don't gather back at that spot. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the video for now, and I'll see you guys at the job site. Alright guys, so here we are at the job site. Just talked to one of the occupants, or a representative for the job site anyway, and he said that they're inside the speaker box, and as you can tell, they are going in and out of the speaker box. So again, what I'll do is I'll just try and tape up any possible entrance, and then hang tight for a few with the bee vac, try and find a power source. I think I see one right there. And just vacuum up all the forager bees for the next 10 or 15 minutes. So let me get set up and I'll be back with you. Alright, so here we go guys. I'm going to tape this bad boy up, and hopefully you guys will be able to kind of see what I'm doing here. Let's see, it looks like they're mostly using this bottom port. I don't know what the internals are like in this, but we're going to just seal it all up. This kind of just goes to show you that bees will take advantage of any cavity that they can find. They build colonies in some of the strangest places. Unfortunately for people, sometimes it's in nice items like this speaker box. I'm sure was not cheap. I told the client that I would try and do the removal without destroying the speaker box, but no promises, kind of thing. So I'm going to try and see what I can exactly take apart to get to them. But we'll figure that out on another day. So my plan today is just simply tape it up, vacuum up any possible foragers, and take it on home. And then when I get home, I will set this up in my yard somewhere, release the bees, take all the tape off, and then release the foragers from the bee vac near it, kind of thing. side. These bees seem fairly calm, so it shows me that they're a fairly new colony. Again, I don't know if this port is another entrance or not, but we'll find out, I guess, huh? So I'm going to pause this for a minute while I get the bee vacuum set up, and as you can see, the bees are already starting to gather. But it's a good time. Alright, so here comes the tricky part. Getting all these flying ladies sucked back up. Alright, to save video, I'm going to pause it for now. I'll see you guys when I'm all done. So what I've done here is I closed the door to kind of keep it the same way that it was. So that way they don't get disoriented as they fly in. They're going to fly underneath the door like the path that they were taking. And then I've just got the hose down there, and that seemed to have worked pretty well. Almost immediately I got about half of them just rushing back in once the door was closed because it was looking familiar. They rushed in and flew right into the vacuum hose. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just holding the vacuum hose here, and about half of them are just flying in on their own. Like I said before, I'm not going to be able to get every single bee more than likely, but my goal is to get as many as I can, so that way the client doesn't have to deal with these stranded bees. But I will continue on like this next. Alright guys, so that was for the most part a success. Got all but maybe a dozen bees that were flying around that just couldn't catch with the bee vac. But for the most part, bees are gone. Went just kind of like what I expected. Pretty simple and straightforward. Just took 10-15 minutes to try and get as many of the foraging bees vacuumed up as I could. So now I'm going to take them back to the house and release them, and then also release the ones from the bee vac and let them fly out of the bee vac and go back into the speaker box. I'm going to let them settle down for a few days, and then from there I will continue the video with the actual removal from the speaker box. So I talked to another occupant of the residence, and they said that they want to try and keep the speaker box if they can. So that makes things a little more difficult when it comes to taking apart the speaker box. I have to be a little more careful than I originally thought I was going to have to be. So I told them no promises, but I'll try and salvage the speaker box if I can, and I'll try and get it back to them, in a week or so. But so the video will continue on at my place, where I'm going to release these ladies and let them get used to the new temporary home that I'm giving them. So once I get them all set up and actually removed from the speaker box in an actual hive body, then I will actually take them out to my actual bee yard. So, so anyway, see you at my house. Alright guys, here we are at my house. Got it set up kind of in the shaded area. Again, this is very temporary. I'm going to try and do this one-handed where I can release these ladies and at the same time try not to miss any of the good footage. They're already starting to come out. And they're in there. And then they'll eventually figure out that they can escape. And this bad boy, before we open this up, I want to just kind of see how many we captured. Get this darn thing off. Sorry about the really crappy camera angles. Doing this one-handed is kind of difficult. So let's go ahead and take this portion off. And you see the foragers that we had captured in the bivac. So let's go ahead and release these ladies, and hopefully they will find their home right in there. Hopefully they'll look around and they'll start to orient back to the speaker box. Yeah, it looks like they're already starting to fly back into the speaker box. So I will leave this like this just for a few days, just to make sure that all the ladies escape and make it back into the speaker box. So, on the next section of this video, you're going to see me tearing into the speaker box, and hopefully I'll be able to access them without destroying the speaker too much, but we will see. So, see you guys in a few minutes. Hey guys, so yeah, I'm back. I'm going to start tearing into this thing, and kind of looking at it, and there's a few screws in here to kind of access this top area, but I don't know about this front panel, if it just pops off with enough pressure, or if I'm going to find some other screws elsewhere. But let's go ahead and get started into this thing, and we're going to try and put these ladies into a proper home here in a short amount of time, hopefully. Wearing the bee gloves makes it a little bit more difficult. One key piece of ingredient here is the tween clip. So I'm always going to keep my eye out for her. Alright, this just goes up in electronics. I'm not really seeing how this front pops off. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this without breaking it. I don't see any other options here. Well, I guess we're going to have to just pry it apart. may have to do some cutting. I do see. That's not gonna help. Alright, while I figure this out, I'm going to put it on pause for now. Hopefully next time around, you'll have me with the front open. Be right back. Alright guys, as you can see I made my way in. And it's actually a little bit larger of a colony than I thought it was going to be. There's more comb in there than I thought there was going to be. I'm still not completely satisfied with how I've made my way in, because it's going to be really hard to access that comb without really breaking it up, and at the same time while looking for the queen. So I'm going to probably do a little bit more cutting and see if I can't get a little bit closer to getting access to make things easier. So hang tight. Alright guys, alright. So now you can see I've gained a lot better access to the comb insides. And it's a decent little size. Bigger than I thought it was going to be, thankfully. At least more comb. Decent sized population. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start cutting that comb off and set it aside. I'll try and frame up some of that comb if I can. It's probably going to be fairly soft because it's such new white comb. I do have some frames with old drawn comb on it that's going to go in the box with it. So that's what I'm going to start doing now, is just start cutting comb out and set it off to the side, all while looking out for the queen as much as I can, and hopefully spot her. Get my camera adjusted here, there we go. Hopefully I can spot her in the process. So all I'm going to do is very carefully, again while looking out for the queen, start cutting away. This real soft comb. And I see nectar and pollen on this comb. Set that off to the side. So again, just kind of make my way through. Try and pull some of this comb out. Can. That piece. going to pause this bad boy, and I'll just continue trying to get these bees out of here, and I'll come back. Alright guys, so look what I found. Hopefully you can see her in there. Yep, that is the queen. So luckily I was able to find her. What I kept doing is just shaking the bees down in the box and then putting a frame of drawn comb in there, and then they'd climb up on the comb, and I just kept looking, and finally found her, and she's a pretty little thing. So what I'll do is I'll put her in there with the rest of her family and keep her caged up for a day or so until they get settled into the new hive. So now all it's going to take is me banding up some of this drawn comb that they had drawn. I don't want it to go completely to waste. Plus with the eggs in there, I think that'll give them more reason to stay, kind of thing. But I'll band up the rest of the frames of comb and then put it all back together and put that hive where I had the speaker box. So I'm going to get started on that, and you guys will kind of see that process. If I can get this thing to work right. There we go. So there's some of the drawn comb that I'm going to start banding up. Now what's important about this is when you band up drawn comb, you want to make sure to keep it in the same orientation as it was hanging in the natural colony. So obviously I'm going to try and do that here. I know it's probably going to be the best camera angle, but I want you guys to get kind of a close eye view of it. So this stuff, okay, so this has some developing larvae in it, so I'm going to put that in there, which means that they've been there, based on the size of the larvae, 4 or 5 days. So keep in mind that eggs hatch at 3 days. They hatch from eggs into larvae in 3 days. So you see nothing but eggs and no actual larvae. That means that the colony is less than 3 days old. You start seeing larvae, depending on the size of it. It could be barely more than 3 days old. I'm seeing larvae that's fairly well developed, so I'm guessing at least a week, at least a solid 7-day week kind of thing. But who knows? Because keep in mind also it takes time for them to build the comb. But they can do that, and when they're in swarm mode like this, they can build that comb really quickly. So, and again, I normally wouldn't put this soft of comb in there, but they don't really have any options here, and I don't want to really waste this brood here. So you're left, if I can get this to balance properly, with a frame with a whole bunch of rubber bands on it of drawn comb that are framed up. So you're left with something to that effect. Again, not perfect, but hopefully they'll reattach up here. Let's see what else I can salvage. This one's fairly heavy with nectar, eggs, no larvae. Eggs in this one. Alright, so I think that's all that I'm going to try and really salvage. The rest is just too small, too soft. But give them that little bit of brood to take care of. We're really kind of trying to convince them to stay. So again, what I'm going to do is, now that we got put a few bees on here, I'm gonna readjust my camera here, and hopefully you can see that. Quite a few bees on there with the queen. So for now, I'm going to move the queen off to the side. Put this frame in here. And then do another shakedown or two. And just dump them in. Alright, got the vast majority of the bees out. So next what I'm going to do is put this nuke box where that speaker box was. Move some of my tools here. There we go. And let me readjust here a little bit. There we go. As you can see, they're starting to fly right to it. So, what I'm going to do is, again, I want to cage the queen up a little bit for a day or so while they're really getting acclimated to this. So I'm going to put this partially drawn frame in there with her. And just kind of set her right in the middle like that. And then I will come back in another like 24 hours and release her. And by then, hopefully they've decided to stay and they won't end up immediately absconding. So that's the goal anyway. Not sure how it's going to work out, but we're going to give it a shot. So that's it, guys. That's the speaker box removal. I'd like to say it was easy. Wasn't that easy. Just trying to get into the speaker box was kind of difficult. But I figured out a way. So it worked out in the end, and I was able to get these ladies into a proper home where they are actually wanted. So if you've got any bee issues, feel free to give me a call, via text or voicemail. You can message me through my Facebook page as well. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. As always, I truly appreciate the support and all the kindness along the way. And again, as always, happy beekeeping, you guys. Take care.